Please have a seat. I'd like to start by asking you a little bit about this performance with purpose, and sort of how that concept came into being, and what role diversity and talent played within that for you and for the organisation.
I think at that time, in 2006, it became amply clear that businesses not only had to make money and perform, but they also had to have a core, a purpose. And in many companies that I was watching around the world, their purpose was defined by a corporate social responsibility program, which is really saying, we're going to make money, and then we're going to spend the money by doing some projects. I thought we should change the dialogue and say, what if we made money differently? Not spend the money in a way, but actually made money differently. And so performance with purpose was recasting how we made money. And there were 3 planks to purpose. Performance is performance, of course. Yeah. The 3 planks to purpose were, the first one is sort of human sustainability. How do we transform our portfolio so that we can have a balanced range of products from sort of fun for you to good for you? So how do we emphasize the Quaker Oats and the Tropicana and the naked juice? I see some of you drinking naked juice. How do we emphasize that as much as we do Pepsi and Lay's and Doritos? Because there's a place for everything in people's lives. So that was the first part of the purpose plank. The second is environmental sustainability, and I know that Walmart and us share the same goals on environmental sustainability. To use less plastic, to use less water, to reduce the carbon footprint, I think is good for society. It gives you a license to operate in many communities, but it saves you money. So it made good business sense. And the third was really the most important plank, which was talent sustainability. How do we make sure we create an environment in PepsiCo where everybody can bring their whole selves to work? And how do we move the ball forward to make sure that our employee base reflects our consumer base? And how do we create an environment where nobody felt discriminated against, where nobody felt like they had to be somebody else in PepsiCo? It's not easy to do that because you've got to change so many things about the company. But this was a journey we started some time ago. We decided to accelerate the journey. And those were the 3 parts of performance with purpose. And the amazing thing, Judith, is that articulating performance with purpose has unleashed the passions of everybody in PepsiCo. Because people feel a sense of emotional connection to the company. When they talk about PepsiCo to the outside world, they not just talk about this high-performance company, they talk about how we are changing the portfolio for the future needs of consumers worldwide, how we're doing the right thing for communities, and how they're so proud to work in PepsiCo because they can be a daughter, a mother, a wife, a daughter-in-law, whatever, within PepsiCo as they are when they leave PepsiCo. So it's been, sort of uplifting for the whole company, if you want to call it that. Performance with purpose is how we run the company. And to really understand the genesis of performance with purpose and what it's done for the company, I should go back a bit. I became CEO in October of 2006. And I strongly believed then, as I do now, that all corporations operate from a license, with a license from society. We're all limited liability companies, and the reason we have limited liability is because society gives us a license to operate. And because we have the license to operate, we owe society a duty of care, which means that if you operate in a society, you have to worry about the costs that you as a company are imposing on society. And it is not right to think of your P&L as revenues less your own costs, and that's your profit. It's really revenues less cost to society. That's the real profit, because you can't toss costs onto taxpayers. So if you start with that as a notion of the enterprise, you have to start thinking about what can you do to reduce those costs that you pass on to society. Okay? And nobody's going to calculate that for you and tell it to you exactly what it is. It's what you feel. And the reason it's important to think that way is because all employees in PepsiCo are first mothers, fathers, children, husbands, wives, aunts, uncles, before they are employees of PepsiCo. And the only way that we thought we'd get the best and brightest to come and work at PepsiCo is if we allowed themselves to bring their whole selves to work, not park themselves at the door and walk in and be somebody else. So we had to think about how we articulate the direction of the company
in a way that makes everybody feel very good about the company, not because of our financial performance alone, although that's necessary, but in terms of the holistic impact we have on society.